And we have returned. You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. This is Beth Ann. So we've been talking about Memorial Day history and Decoration Day. And while on this day, we decorate the graves. We remember the loved ones that have gone before us. We remember the soldiers from our wars. Most of us have family that have been in that. We see a lot more red, white, and blue. We see the flags all over the place. Some, excuse me. Some communities actually have put on parades. We commemorate summer. It's the first day of summer. The pools open up. The kids are out of school. Vacations begin. Summer activities. Play ball. Memorial Day signifies a lot these days, which, sometimes I think that's good and sometimes I think that's bad because it steals away from those that we're truly supposed to be remembering. Today is also National Sunscreen Day, so if you're going to be out in the sun, wherever you are, you might want to take some precautions. Now, last week I was talking to my granddaughter and I said, well, when's your last day of school? She says it was last Friday. So I was talking to her and I said, well, what did you do on your first day of school, first day of vacation? She said, oh my gosh, it was wild. It was just crazy. Well, what happened? Now I want you to think about this because it's kind of funny, yet I know it was scary for her at first. Her mom and dad are gone and her big sister was gone for just a couple hours for practice. Life goes on as usual, right? Unless you lock yourself in the bathroom and you can't get out. And you didn't think to take your cell phone in there because you don't need your cell phone in the bathroom. I asked her if she panicked. She says, I did it first. I started to panic. She said it was an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before her sister came home. And her sister couldn't get the door open. So they call her dad. And her dad comes home and he tries to talk her through how to break into it. He's able to get a butter knife under the door through to her. And he's trying to FaceTime and tell her how to do it. Of course, by this time, they've slid the phone under. But she's not understanding. I said, well, it looks like she's not going to have a career in breaking and entering. And he couldn't pick the lock on his side. So he ended up having to bust the door down. So she was in there for a little over 3 hours, I guess, locked in the bathroom. And I said, now, I'm betting, because you're my granddaughter and I know, you hadn't even had breakfast yet, had you? She says, no. She said, Katie managed to get a little cereal to me out underneath the door. So, when you have kids in the house, there's never a dull moment. And now my son has to repair a door, put a new door up. But he said he can't figure out what happened. Of course, this plastic junk, and the latch or the lock had just broke and they couldn't get it to tumble. He said that it's locked before on them, but they were able to get in. But this time they weren't. Of course, she was there by herself. So what will you do on vacation, or your children? What will they do with vacation? Well, I found this little poem. I like poems. This one's written by Lenore Hetrick. Vacation Resolution. Now, if you knew me, you'd know that I'm not a morning person. I have to say that right out front. I never have been, not even as a little child, not even as an infant. I always liked my sleep. But I am a night owl, which makes me even less a morning person. But this is a vacation, and it's written really for kids. So I had to think about my granddaughter when I was reading this. I'm not getting up tomorrow, though I hear my mother call. Waffles and honey for breakfast. I'll turn my face to the wall. I'm not getting up, though my friends come yelling, we're off to the river. I'll just close my eyes and sleep without a regretful shiver. The first day of vacation, oh grand and glorious feeling, the solid bed beneath me above the dear old ceiling. And I won't get up, I tell you, to dine with a golden cup. Not even if the president calls. I won't get up. I thought that is so kid when they have their first day off of school and they're on vacation. As a kid, when I was a kid, we never took summer vacations. We may have taken a weekend here or there to grandma's house, but we never had a vacation of sorts to sightsee and see what's going on. Many families still can't afford vacations or trips. Others just can't leave because of things at home. Maybe they take care of loved ones that don't travel well, or they have other obligations. Farming and ranching, it's hard to get away. And the animals can't feed themselves unless you have somebody set up that can do that for you. It's not easy to get away and take a vacation. But there are other things you can do as a family, making memories and spending time together. And whether you're at home or someplace local, doing things that are fun together. Kids that are home when the parents are at work, you need to have things for them to do. My kids, I used to leave them lists. I don't think they considered that fun. But they had to get it done, and then they were, I allowed them to go to the pool or something else. And the last day of school was a tradition when my kids were young. I always picked them up and took them out for ice cream. So last evening, one of my sons sent a picture of him with his two kids who just finished school, and guess what they were doing? They were eating ice cream. Something else I let my kids do. Now, they couldn't take them to school because that was going to cause trouble, but they could have a water fight outside. The last day of school, they could have some friends or neighbors over and have a water fight. Well, there are things you can do with the kids. Leaving them workless was not something that they enjoyed. In fact, my one boy has he doesn't like lists. Mom used to leave me lists. I don't want a list. I know what has to be done, he says. Bike rides is something that's cheap if you've all got a bike. If you have to go buy bikes, I guess that's not cheap. But just taking a family bike ride, maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon, if you happen to be the working parents, or if not, you can do that during the day. It says make ice cream. And most people, when I was a kid, we didn't do that. That was something that I learned when we moved down to the country and I was dating my husband. They like their ice cream, and they made homemade ice cream with they had to churn it themselves. We have those good old electric ones now. Meeting friends at the local playground. That's really simple at my house because we live right by the park, so that's not a difficult thing. Sidewalk chalk murals. You can just, get that chalk and let them have at it outside. It'll wash off. It's not a big deal. Let them be inspired. Backyard camping. Maybe you can't go camping, but you could do it in the backyard on a Saturday evening, Friday night, Sunday evening. Backyard stargazing. How about cloud watching? That's not on this list that I copied down. What about cloud watching? If they go out during the day and you've got some clouds, just lay down on a blanket or in the grass if you prefer, and just watch the clouds and make up ideas of what they look like. Did you do that when you were a kid? I did that when I was a kid, and I haven't done that in a while. And every time I want to go do it, it rains or there isn't any clouds. So maybe this weekend. No, this weekend's going to be busy. Maybe I can get that done one day this summer. But stargazing. What a good time to learn and to teach where the stars are. You can go on the World Wide Web now and figure out where the constellations are and everything that you're watching at that time. They can go to local camps. They have tennis camps. They have day camps of different kinds that they can go to. It says to make a kaleidoscope. It had a little instructions on how to do that. Sidewalk foam painting. I don't know about that one. Water balloon baseball. What could be more fun than water balloon baseball? Bird feeders. Make a bird feeder. Maybe it would be good to have one of those in the family that's their job, to make sure that bird feeder stays full. Making Play-Doh, or making something with Play-Doh, or making your own Play-Doh. Visiting local libraries. That's a good thing to do. Check out books. Let them read it and tell you about it. You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. This is Beth Ann. Today is Memorial Day, the first day of summer. The kids have maybe been home a week or a week and a half already. Are they already bored? If they are, I've got some clues here for things we can do together, and we have some ideas for red, white, and blue vacations. And we will be right back.